Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us today as we celebrate International Women's Day. I am joined today by four of my colleagues from Emirates MBD, and I'm very privileged to work with these ladies who do very different things at the bank, but are all very accomplished in their own right. International Women's Day is a celebration of the cultural, economic, and political achievements of women. And we're here today to have that discussion and to find out from these four panelists with me what their journeys have been like and to listen to their stories so that we can learn from them and see whether or not we share similar experiences to them or whether we can learn from their experiences. And with that, I'd like to open up the floor to my fellow colleagues and panelists.
My name is Widad Salman Al-Kabi. I'm working for Emirates NBD since 1997. Approximately, let's say, 22 years, and I'm proud to working for such an organization.
Hi, I'm Charu Ramchandani, and I'm with the Group Digital Office of Emirates NBD. I'm a newbie compared to her, just been here about a year, and I'm glad to be on this panel. Thank you.
I'm Mira Al-Meheri. I work for Emirates NBD. I'm almost 5 years with Group Corporate Affairs.
Hi everyone, my name is Lida Bueta. I work with Emirates NBD's Human Resource Department, specifically looking at talent management, and I've been with the bank for 7 years.
Thank you very much, ladies. The theme this year is Balance for Better. That is the tagline that we're using to celebrate International Women's Day. I'd like to open the floor up and just ask, what does that mean to each one of you? And maybe we'll start with you, Lida.
Thanks, Tariq. I think balance is very different and unique to each and every woman. And for me, it is really about prioritizing and finding out what does quality time mean to me and how I can allocate that to the priorities that's important to me, because it's so different to each one of us. And how I can have quality versus quantity while managing quite a few things in your life and multitasking.
Thank you.
Balance for Better, it's more than a goal. It's like a playbook on how to achieve that goal, basically.
To me, Tariq, it means an equally represented world. So that's what it is to me.
Okay.
For me, it's I feel it is, if I have a balance for my work environment, my family, and if I manage it in a proper way, it will be, it's make me more successful in my place.
Okay. That's interesting, because when I've spoken to different women before we've had this panel, you four of you have basically summarized what it is that I've heard from other women. So that's quite interesting in that it can be different to each individual, but in general there's a general theme that tagline represents. And so maybe what I'll do is I'll ask you now about success and what success looks like to each of you, because you all will have different goals, and I'd just like to find out from you what success is to you.
For me, actually, I'm proud to work for such an organization. For me, it was really a success journey from each aspect. I start from the bottom for this organization for a junior job. However, I have a success story. When I was a relation manager, I was from as the top of relation manager for priority banking in Shaheen for Emirates Bank. Later, I see the merge between biggest two bank, NBD, our National Bank of Dubai with the Emirates Bank, and and I have the progress in my career from unit manager to area manager, and later I took something and I was very proud about it. When we take a solitaire for priority banking, we are the top for customer service, and our NPS score, it was 27, the highest for entire the group, with the customer satisfaction 8.5. It was really I'm proud about this, and I feel it's a very successful journey.
Okay, thank you.
I think success is very personal and unique to everybody. For me, success is constantly growing and achieving different things, and the goals that I've set for myself to be able to hit those milestones when I wanted them to, when I want to hit them. So yeah, that's what success is for me. I don't think there is a template or a workbook in my mind. That's what it is.
Okay, my success story that I started from a junior position, and I used to work and study at the same time, and it was challenging at first, but I succeeded. If I can succeed, anyone can succeed that. And I'm in the position that I studied for, corporate communications, and I think success is whenever you put out goals, no matter if it takes you time to achieve that goal, but you will do it eventually.
For me, success is very closely linked with balance, and I think it is something that I need to achieve every day. It's not something like, okay, I've balanced my life, I've had success, and that's done. I think every day you have to recreate and try to balance whatever is important for you, because priorities change, goals change,
Sure.
Your situation change, and in order to have balance between all of those things is almost a daily thing. So for me, success would be to be able to achieve that balance.
So that opens up an interesting question in that, what does balance look like to you? How do you know that you're balancing things the way you want to balance them? Are you able to balance the various aspects of your life that you have with pursuing a career and doing the various things that you're doing?
Well, I think it's a daily challenge, as I mentioned.
I agree.
I think for everyone,
Yes.
you almost have to break it down in chunks, and every day see how you can balance that. Because as I said, priorities change, and just when you think, okay, I've got this, something would change, and you have to readjust a little bit.
But I think, what for that is a challenge. But if we take it to manage it with the positive way and to believe inside, we want like how to manage our work environment, our family from the other side, and we believe on it, we can do it. But it's very difficult and it's challenging, and it will continue to be a challenging, I think, for any woman.
Right. There is really no formula, right? When you think you've got one thing under control, something
Yes.
else slips away.
Yeah.
So it's a constant juggle between your priorities.
Yeah.
So you have to get up a certain morning and say that today this is what I'm going to tackle and this is what I'm going to do. And you've got to be okay with the fact that something else might slip away.
Yeah.
So it's constantly being okay with the choices that you're making. Because you can't have it all. I mean, I know people say that, but that's just unnecessary stress. You've got to juggle, you've got to make the best of what you have, is according to me. Yeah.
So we have two very interesting perspectives here, in that we've got an individual here that's been with the bank pre-merger, and we have someone that just picked Emirates MBD from what I'm sure would have been other options that you had in the market. So what are, and I'll ask these questions respectively here, but what are your drivers that keep you at Emirates MBD? And to you, what was the choice in terms of selecting Emirates MBD rather than others?
Do you want to go first?
Yeah. You know what? I think, as I said in the beginning, I'm proud for such organization. Speak frankly, they give me the chances to, groom myself. And I was passionate to believe on things I do. And with the support of my bank, my organization, as a brand, as a name, with the support of my management, with what I believe inside, I did it. And I very happy for here. And speak frankly, when I speak with anyone and I said I am 20 years here, I feel proud about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, when I decided, that I wanted to pursue a career in banking, there were no two doubts in my mind that it had to be Emirates MBD for me. Personally, because I think my ethos and philosophy matches very much with the brand. Emirates MBD is a trailblazer no matter what it does. It's a rebel of a kind. It's always breaking stereotypes and challenging the status quo. Even though it's achieved success and it's sitting at the pinnacle, it's constantly reinventing itself. And I sort of echo those sentiments and philosophies. So for me, I thought that this would be perhaps the best place, and I don't think I'm wrong. It's a place that really empowers you to go out and do your best. So I'm really happy with the choice I've made.
That's great.
Yeah.
So each of you does very different things, from being client-facing to working on the messaging to the general public to working with the staff on a day-to-day basis. How do you find each one of your particular roles as it relates to the balance that you're able to achieve? Because today you're dealing with a client, they have very different demands than perhaps the staff may have. So how do you find that balance in terms of your interactions with the clients?
See, if I think about it, I feel it is very open discussion will be for that, and we cannot say wrong or like correct. This is what I said or wrong. It's a balance for anything, for any job. We will find it. If I love it, I can do things. If I am positive about it, I can do something. Yeah. But if I not believe on it, it's very hard. I should the main things to believe what the things I do, and I know that believe in myself and believe with my team, because not only me, it depends. It's a lot of factors for that. In the beginning, I should believe in myself that I can do, believe with the people, work with them, and believe in my management that yes, I can do the balance in my work, in my life, in my environment.
Right. Lida, do you want to go next?
Yeah, I want to pick up on a point that we just mentioned earlier about support. And I think, especially as working women, we like to be independent. We like to think we have got everything under control. We don't need anyone else's support. And it's good because, I mean, we have proven ourselves, but I do think we do need that, and we have to appreciate that support in the right places is really very powerful.
Yeah.
And I can say that I'm very fortunate in having a manager who supports me in terms of the balance that, or the definition of balance that I have. And I think that is crucial because we really need that in a workplace. And if there's more cognizance of that, and as you say, open communication in terms of what is important to me to have balance versus what is important to you to have balance, I think that kind of support will definitely help us.
Because I think without the support, we will not be successful. We need people to we have the passion, and with the other people to support us to make something is alive, to make this all the output for the organization to be in better image, better product, better for everything actually.
Right.
So you actually raised an interesting point, Lida, that is making me think about diversity, right? We're celebrating International Women's Day today. And the point of that is really to harness what it is that women can bring to the workforce and how it is that you can create a more diverse culture. And it's not just gender related, but it's creed and class and ethnicity and so on. But there are two fundamental drivers there where you can generate a lot of balance and a lot of input, where you do have the male-female dynamic, right? How do you maintain that diversity within an institution? And how do you see that in your respective department as it relates to how does diversity plays a role in how you function?
I think the most important aspect there is respect, because it goes across all boundaries, whether it's male-female, whether it's cultures, whether it's races, languages, etc. And then just the sensitivity around that, because especially seeing that we're looking at Women's Day, we quickly think of man versus woman, but here it goes, especially in a country as diverse as us, it has to go across all boundaries. And I think the UAE is a good example of that. But I think that is the golden thread that needs to go through all those aspects.
I'll just like to add to that. So respect is one aspect of it, but also tolerance. Is another piece that's really, really important to be able to accept a diverse culture around you, right? And also, the curiosity to learn. I think that's really, really important. So I just wanted to add that,
With the respect and other things, understand culture. Today with the diversity in this organization, we should understand, respect the culture where we live, the country, UAE, and we understand culture with the people we work with. Because we are here, let's say, it's multinational from everything, so European, American, Arab different with the GCC country. The important things and respect, understand culture. This is very important for success.
So I agree with the comments. You know, I've been very privileged in that I was able to live overseas in fantastic places, the US, the UK, and diversity plays a key role. And I have not lived in a city or in a country as diverse as the UAE. And we see what the leadership is doing in terms of, this is the year of tolerance, we see what it is that we're doing in terms of empowering women, empowering institutions to be able to create that diverse environment. How does that empowerment from a corporate level impact you from, you mentioned about educating yourself and training and learning and so on. How supportive is Emirates MBD to your personal development and balancing those goals and the priorities that you have?
I think it's a very supportive environment. I feel absolutely empowered to make the choices I want to make and to also carve out my path for development. So it's about where I want to see myself, and I'm allowed to make those choices, and I'm allowed to seek out the resources that I need to get there. So I think it's a very empowering and a very enabling environment that Emirates MBD has, so which is good. Yeah.
I agree with Charo for that. It's empowering is very important, and we have it. Actually, I speak about myself. I have it for myself, I have it for my team, and you know what, we have a trust. But when you have a trust, they trust about your review, about the way how you do the job. For most of the time, let's say, okay, they are full support to empower me to do the job for, actually this is for the benefit, for our business, for our organization, for our name.
Right.
And women is free to speak about economics, about personal, about professional life, anything, and they will support you no matter what. Emirates MBD is like giving you the power to shine, because Emirates MBD is shining, and I think that's one of empowering women, and if they are heard, it motivates them, honestly. Yeah.
I don't know if you have any comments.
Yeah, I think what is exciting is to see women in powerful positions and in leadership positions who women can look up to as role models and can see if they can do it, what's stopping me.
True.
That brings up an interesting point around mentorship and guidance, right? And what that might mean to each one of you as it relates to who your best mentors have been, how the guidance, how an institution is structured to permit that type of mentorship and guidance, and how it is that flows down into how you then deal with your staff. How has that helped you at Emirates MBD in terms of the mentorship and guidance you may have received from your superiors?
Please.
Like I said, I've just been about a year old, but perhaps I would like to draw an example from my first ever job all the way back, and our boss was a lady, and she was a boss lady. She's instilled some really strong values in us, and she literally herded us, as her own, and which built a very strong sense of self in you at a very young age. And I think it's actually been the foundation for me. We were always asked to, we were put in front, we were asked to fight, for what we believed was right, and she was always there to support us.
As successful women, and each one of you is successful in your own right, and with the celebration of International Women's Day, do you find that adds more pressure for you to accomplish in terms of trying to balance everything, or do you just take it and say, this is something I want to do, and I'm going to pursue it? How does that sit with you?
I can take that. I think it goes back to what I said initially. I think you have to make your choices and your priorities. You need to set them straight, and you need to be okay with that. You need to embrace it. There is pressure, but I think that pressure needs to just be yours, your own. I don't believe in hashtag goals or hashtag whatever. I think it's your journey, and it's really, really what you want to set for yourself. You've set your eyes on something and go for it. Yes, and I think everybody has phases in life. Sometimes career takes a lot more importance than family life. Sometimes education does. It's just being cognizant of that journey and then being okay with it.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
And even if something comes up, you always have to be positive with it.
Yeah. This is
in
what
order
I-
to
yes.
achieve that journey.
I agree about that. Positivity is very important for us because if we are a positive for anything we do it, even when we deal with the people, even all the time with our team or with ourselves or with our management, we should be positive to get things to be done. And even if we have a lot of challenges, but we keep is a positive, we will reach that way or end of this journey, we will do it. But positive things is very good.
Even if it takes you time, you will
Yeah.
always achieve it with
Definitely.
positive
behavior,
behavior,
attitude,
anything.
yeah.
Yeah. And I think none of that is also possible without a support system, right? So there's a
Definitely.
lot of
Yeah.
importance on that. And just to how Lida was saying, that support system is really, really important to, help you achieve that, so that it can't be done without that.
So ladies, what is your message to women on this International Women's Day?
So women power is incredible, and you cannot express by few words. It's a result of continuous work, passion, professional, personal. You all have to have that in order to succeed in a good way, even though if you fail, but I think you will accomplish that no matter what's the situation.
Yeah. I'd like to add, I think if there was one message I want to give, it's a two-part answer. First is have an opinion, right? There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with having an opinion. And then be bold enough to voice it. I think today there's a chair for everyone on the table.
Yes.
It's just that we need to grab that chair and we need to be heard. And the other piece is that encourage every woman around you. So I think those are the two things that I would definitely want to say. Yeah.
For me, I ask each woman to be positive and to believe about the job she did. This is very important. They support her with a lot of things in the life, if work or family.
And I think they have to put in effort in order to have that successful journey.
Definitely, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Supporting each other, I
Yes.
think, is something we need to work on. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to also add something there because I work with a lot of women. I've hired many women into my teams and into other teams. And I think the point that you make is actually, I'd like to emphasize that, is that your opinion does matter. It's the only way to learn is to speak up, right? Is to engage, is to understand how dynamics work. And so please speak up, engage. Your opinion does matter. And I think that the more that happens, the more that our ability to celebrate women becomes less about a day and more about the year, right? So as a final question for me, what will each of you be doing this year to live the theme that has been set for the year to celebrate International Women's Day?
Lida? Yes, I've got an answer. I think I will be kinder to myself, and I think that's true for many women. We are very hard on ourselves.
True.
Because we have all of these balls that we're trying to juggle, and we want to be perfect in each and every one of them. And we set very high goals or stretch target to ourselves, and we beat ourselves up if we don't make it or do it according to our standards, rather than sometimes standing back and celebrating what we have achieved. And thinking, wow, I've been able to achieve that. So I think just be kind to ourselves a bit more. I think that's very good advice. Yeah.
Even if the small things, you should celebrate on it, because you don't know if it matters in the future, which it will shine there in the future.
I think with the theme for the Women International 2019, Balance for Better, really, I like it. I want to take for myself, I speak, and I think all for the ladies, they will agree about that, to not take it as a challenge and fast. We want to do it, we want to finish it. Yes, we should believe on that, but let's take it slowly. Sometimes let's believe inside us that this is the job, we want to take it and we want to finalize it with the best way we can. but for me, I speak, I will take it slowly. Yeah, so.
Right. So I think just to conclude off for me, I think this year for International Women's Day, I'm going to be a lot more cognizant about the women around me. I want to take a pledge that if a woman is around me, I'll perhaps do everything that I can so I can push her further. And I expect that, you know, at Emirates NBD, we can create a sort of safe haven for women.
Yeah.
Where we encourage each other, we celebrate each other's accomplishments, we're not shy of complimenting each other. I think it has to be a very, very positive environment, and I'll be very cognizant of that, and I'll try and encourage it.
Thank you. And with that, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us today. I hope that the insights that have been shared resonate with each one of you. And I look forward to working with these fantastic colleagues over the course of this year and for many years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Tariq.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.